to Dreams, Passion and Your Hong Kong Story, where every time we bring before you amazing stories of inspirational people from this magnificent land, Hong Kong. Today we have the privilege of having with us an amazingly enterprising and dynamic business owner and also an entrepreneur. Let's meet Stanley Sun, CEO of China Hong Kong Photo Products Holding. Hello Stanley, and welcome to our show.
Thank you for inviting me.
So Stanley took over his family business in 2005 and since then has been widely accredited for coming up with a lot of different innovative solutions to keep his business extremely profitable in a time when photography sector is facing a lot of obsolescence. Stanley is an undergrad and MBA from Cornell University in America. Let's talk to Stanley and find out how his Hong Kong journey has been. So Stanley, how was it to grow up? Tell us about your early childhood.
Okay.
And what inspired you to become so dynamic and almost work like an entrepreneur, even though you're a business owner already?
Okay, I was born and raised in Hong Kong. Okay. I grew up in a family of four. I have a younger brother, my dad and my mom. My grandfather started the business in 1968. Okay. And then my dad was the only family members that came back and worked for him. So growing up, they always been exposing me to the business world. They will take me to their business dinners. They will take me to their business trip. Actually, I went to China in 1981 when I was 3 years old.
Wow.
It was at the time China just opened, and it so happened my great grandfather was living there, and so my grandfather and my dad took me there. So in many ways, our first business we started in Hong Kong was the Fujifilm distributorship. So it was very ingrained in my head about what our family do, and so ingrained that the one story that was very famous for my childhood was one day my teacher called my mom and told my mom that I refused to take the class picture. I refused.
Wow.
Because I knew they were using Kodak film. So I actually refused to stand in school to take the photo.
Okay.
So in many ways, I think the sense of that drive and the business started when I was quite young.
I see.
And also seeing the business through my father's and my grandfather's eyes. My grandfather was more managing the sales part, and my father was managing the marketing part. So it gives me all these interesting ideas and how they promote the brand. And that helps, I think, in many ways, shape me while I was very young.
Okay. So you did your undergrad degree from Cornell in hospitality.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you're a retail business owner now. So how was first of all, why did you choose to do hospitality?
Yeah.
And secondly, how has hospitality been useful for you in your retail business?
So I choose hotel management because I was thinking about doing business, but I haven't decided exactly what kind of business I want to do. So I remember it was my grade 11 summer. One of my father's forum, he has a very close friend, came and talked to me as a mentor, and discussing about my future plans, and he gave me the suggestions about you consider studying hotel management, because you can learn about business in a very specific environment, and in many sense it's something I'm interested. I always like to travel. I like hotels. I like food and beverage as an interest. So when I pursued it, I was thinking doing HR, human resources management, that type of work.
Okay.
But eventually, during my 4 years there, I developed a huge passion in food and beverage, a huge passion in finance. To translate that now back to what I'm doing, in many sense, many business programs in the world taught business to students in a traditional product-driven way.
Right.
But hospitality, in essence, is teaching you business in a service mentality. Most businesses now in the world are service-driven. So in many ways, I think for that, it helps me to bring the retail. How that translates into retail is because how we manage guest expectation, how we deliver the customer journey.
Okay.
That, in many sense, is actually quite transferable from hospitality to retail. I mean, you think about a customer journey in a hotel. I arrive at the door, my luggage got picked up, I checked in, I go into my room, I get served. In many ways, it's very similar to a guest walk into your door. How do you greet them? How do you serve them? How do you find out what they need? How do you manage their needs? And how do you deliver the needs? It's very similar.
Wow.
So that's, in some sense, it's quite rewarding.
Okay. So, you joined your family business in 2005. It was in the field of photography. And then we all know that since then, photography sector has actually faced a lot of obsolescence. What really fascinates me is that you not only, flourished, but your business is so profitable and you diversified into so many different fields. So tell us about the different innovations that you did, which not only helped you keep relevant, but also helped the business grow.
So I think that started I have to go back even further.
Okay.
I think it all started when I was working in the US. Because Fujifilm as a company was always perceived as a film company. At the time when I was there, I was working in the digital camera division. It was a small division. It was a growing sector.
And your family is partnered with Fujifilm.
Yeah,
Japan.
we are the distributor in Hong Kong, Macau, and in the past, the whole China as well.
Okay.
So as we transition from the analog to digital, I saw the pitfalls that we have made at Fujifilm. And also we have seen what's the transformation happening. And we were thinking, if this transformation happening in Hong Kong and Macau, it will be a lot faster. There will be a lot more leapfrogging that happening in this part of the world than in the US. So we started analyzing how we should utilize our resources to market our products, what kind of marketing concept we have to implement to make sure that we can take people away from the film heritage, but to people realize that, hey, besides the film heritage, we are also a photography company. How we are innovative in many of the photography sector, because photography, it's not just the film, because you have the lens, you have the film, and also you have the end product on, photos or photo books or different printable items that is use the photography angle. So that's something that we utilize, and it helps us to pivot from the old traditional film company to a more digital company that we are today.
And you also diversified your portfolio, right? Like you
other
products. Can you tell us
yes.
some of those
aspects
about your business?
So where we are today, this is one of our relative new venture.
Okay.
We actually was able to acquire a company that they're looking for new owners in the high-end audio and video retail.
Okay.
So we have about 10 stores in Hong Kong, and we specialize. I think we are the only chain that specializes in audio and video. Okay. Anything that do with sound and image, it's what we try to provide here. And because of this, we also tap into smart home automations and solution providing for businesses and governments and hospitals, that kind of sector as well. Yeah.
So who are your main competitors in this market?
For our retail in the audio and video, of course, you have the big home appliances company like Fortress, like Broadway. But for our system integration business, there's a lot of different competitors outside. You have some really big ones, you have some really small ones. It's all over the place. So it's quite competitive in that sense. But because of our strong relationship with supplier on the retail sector, we're able to secure pricing advantages and also product advantages on inventory. For example, like I think if you're looking for anything big size TV like the one behind us, we are probably the only retailer who have inventory on hand. Okay. Like you try to buy a 98-inch TV at Fortress, they will tell you have to wait. you come to our store, we'll have stock.
Okay.
So it's an investment for us,
Right.
but also it's also help us to build our relationship with the suppliers as well.
Okay. And have you also differentiated your products in a way that you'd really stand out in this competitive market?
I think for us is our expertise on our staff.
Okay.
Most of our staff have a passion in audio and video.
Okay.
So, and we don't usually employ what they call in the market, if you use the market jargon, they're promoters.
Right.
So let's say you go to some of our competitors and you walk in and there will be a promoter on a certain brand. And basically what they will promote is the brand that paid them.
Right.
But here, if you come to our store, basically you tell us what you're looking for. We will give you the most fair comment on how each brand different and how you should choose what kind of TV you should get or what kind of speaker you should get for your home, depending on your needs.
Okay. So I guess you employ many different kind of people in all these stores. What are some of your recruitment criteria when you hire people for your team?
I think recruitment has always been difficult. I think not until the last 2 years with the social unrest and COVID, actually hiring retail staff was very difficult because retail sector was big with tourists, with other brands competing. So for us, you know, we're looking for people that are not on the skill knowledge because we try to teach you that, but I think it's the passion to serve, the passion to engage with consumers and customers, and the positive attitude, that was what we're looking for.
Okay. And tell us now some of the challenges that you have faced in a competitive place like Hong Kong while growing your business in different directions.
I think talent has always been a challenge. Finding the right talent, not the best talent, because every company have their own resources constraint. You can't have the best talent, often because you couldn't afford them.
Right.
Having the right talent that fits the job, that's always been a challenge. How to promote the culture of a company to new joint staff, it's always a challenge. Rent, it's a challenge, but rent, it's a challenge if you choose the wrong location for your store.
Okay.
Because if you look at the retail landscape in Hong Kong, there are areas that are more tourist driven. So for a shop like the TV and audio shop where not many of our customers are tourists, the rent that they're asking have that element of the tourist premium, which it won't benefit me.
So if you're judicious about where you pick up your location, you can save that cost.
Yeah. So last 2 years we actually changed our strategy. So we moved from many stores, smaller space, to less store, bigger space.
Okay.
Because our retail business started as a TV, mainly TV, but as we go along, as evolvement, we're putting more stereo, hi-fi into our store, which require a bigger space for, you know, immersive experience.
Right.
So many of our new stores have these home theater corner, and we put more speakers so that people have a choice, a place to try their music, really listen to the speakers, so that they can make sound choices.
Okay. So how has Hong Kong been for your professional and personal journey? I mean, you grew up in Hong Kong, you finally decided to come back, you joined your family business, you came up with so many innovative solutions to kind of diversify. The whole process, how has it been like?
To me, for sure, Hong Kong is a blessed place for me. I met my wife here.
Okay.
I started my family here. Our business flourished in Hong Kong for many, many years. I mean, we're celebrating our 53rd year of the company.
Wow.
So more than half a decade in Hong Kong. And we've been very prosperous and lucky that we have great staff to work for our company. So I feel very blessed about this place.
So what's next for you? Do you plan to expand overseas, or are you going to be more?
I think yes.
Hong Kong, China focused, or?
We have, the Greater Bay Area is definitely something that we are looking into. But the concept of our shop will change when we enter China, because it's just, they are, in many ways, some element of the retail industry in China is so advanced than Hong Kong because of the utilization of the web on your phone, which is very different. But we also feel that the part of the experience is important, that you can't get it on the phone. So how are we going to do that business? We will slowly open. Hopefully the border will open soon so we can travel into China. And in terms of Hong Kong, we continue to expand. So we just opened one shop in May. We're opening a new store in June. Like I said, we actually moving to a bigger space.
Right.
So we do see opportunity and continue to see good things that happening in Hong Kong right now.
I know you're very involved in many philanthropic ventures like Community Chest, and tell us a little bit about the different philanthropic ventures you're involved in, and what exactly do you do there?
So I'm part of the executive committee for the Hong Kong community, the Community Chest of Hong Kong.
Okay.
So this the Community Chest of Hong Kong is under that there's about 230 members agencies where we raise money for them and provide funding for these agencies on their social work. So the Community Chest does not provide social work themselves.
Okay.
But they support many of the organizations in Hong Kong that provide social works to the community of Hong Kong. But what we are very proud of ourselves is, first, every dollar we raise, we give 100% to our members agency. So all our administration cost was covered by the foundation that we accumulate over time through investments. Every event that we host on fundraising, none of the donation money will go to any of the expenses of those events cost.
I see.
So that is very, I think we are the only one who can claim every dollar you donate goes to people who will benefit from us. I've been involving that about 8 years. I started with fundraising events. Eventually I joined the board, and then now I'm on the executive committee.
All right, so are you ready for our rapid fire question?
Sure.
Now? That's getting to know Stanley's Hong Kong story in a bit more fun way. Last time you did something for the first time in Hong Kong.
I did an ice bath.
Ice bath?
Ice bath.
Where do you do that? And how do you do that?
You basically have a tub,
Yeah.
you fill it up with ice, and you go in for 90 seconds.
Wow. So how did you feel?
Oh, it's
Really?
refreshing, for sure.
Okay. Your favorite casual and formal dining place in Hong Kong?
Any Chinese-style cafe with a fishball noodle. Chinese, my favorite will be Duddles.
Okay.
For Italian, Da Domenico.
On a romantic date with your wife, which is your most favorite place in Hong Kong to go, and why?
One romantic place that I think Jacqueline and I both like to go, it's Amigo. It's romantic. We have a lot of memories there. Nostalgia for sure.
Your hobby outside work?
Cooking, skiing, tennis, golf.
You cook?
I just actually, Father's Day, I decided to grill some steaks for the family, for my father-in-law, my dad, my brother, the family. Yeah.
You must be keeping your family really happy.
I try. I try.
Okay, your favorite product from your many stores that you have?
Cameras and lenses.
Okay. Your favorite part of work?
Selling.
Selling.
I love talking to customers, explaining the product, explaining the benefits. In many ways, I like clients' engagement.
Okay. If you were not a business owner or a businessman, what would you be?
A chef,
A chef.
a ski instructor,
Okay.
maybe probably a chef more.
What are you most proud of as a Hong Konger?
Oh, our resilience, our dare to try, our innovation, and never give up.
What would you tell the global business leaders and the policymakers? Why should they engage with Hong Kong?
I think Hong Kong is still one of the most dynamic cities that a world can offer, with different ideas exchanged, with a very strong Western and Chinese culture really blends together in one. Great financial opportunities, as well as talent pool.
Thank you so much, Stanley, for
Thank
coming
you.
to our show.
Thank
and
you,
we
thank
wish
you.
all the very best in all your future endeavors.
Thank you very much.
Stay tuned for our next episode on dreams, passion, and your Hong Kong story, where we shall bring you yet another fascinating story from this amazing land, Hong Kong.